Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I'm Teri at Holding Your Space, and here is Kelly, Calihealer. How are you, Kelly?
I am so good. So excited to be here on a
Yeah.
Friday.
Yay, Friday.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I love getting together and doing this with you.
Yeah, we were just talking about that backstage, you guys, how much fun it is. So, yeah, it's like I get my dose of Kelly on Fridays now. So I'll just say hi to a few people. Jessica Lynn is here. Ness is here. I think she's still here. Janet DC, hello. Susan Funes. Jeff at Tarot Ass Backwards, you're cracking me up, my friend. Cracking me up. And Annie Bear. So, hey,
Hello.
everybody. Welcome, welcome. And Diana's here, Tribal Dancers.
Hello.
There she is. Yeah. Majestic Oracle. Thank you.
Hi, Jay. And
Yeah.
Jules.
Yeah. Still just working in, man. There's Julie, Jules.
Hello.
Oh, your car fixed and you came back from the lake, Diana. Good. Good. Well,
Oh, good.
yeah, she needed to get out. Hey, Sally, how you doing?
Hello.
So today we're going to talk about Ascension Symptoms
Yes.
and how things are working out, like what we can do about it and what they feel like. And it was quite interesting. Oh, Sally had wild sights at her place last night. Hey, warrior girl. And so we were talking about Ascension Symptoms and what it's like. And you know what? Last week we really did a good job on these. I started listening. Sometimes I don't remember what we say because when you're using your intuition, your brain's in a different place, right?
Yeah.
You're tuning in. You're not kind of and I rarely remember anything anyway. Let's get real. So
Same. Same.
but we had some really good stuff coming in from that. And then I went back to Reverend Sol. And the last interview that we did, just T and I together, he had a lot of really great things that he talked about too. So I have put the links to both of those shows in the description here of the show.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome, Teri. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah. Well,
I'd like to go back. I'd like to go back and watch that show too with him.
Yeah, it was a great show, and he's timeless, right? And he's still here coming in every day. So
Oh yeah,
typical.
we got his background on.
Yep. We put his background on.
He's with us.
Oh yeah, and I've got a bunch of his crystals up here, and yeah, Hypnicity. He was a huge help to you. He was, wasn't he? He was so good for all of us. I mean, he was just his energy was unbelievable. And it was nice when I went to the celebration of life. His kids, at the end, I went up and I told him who I was. And I said, listen, your dad was on my show quite a few times. And I did a grouping of all his shows. So please go on and watch them if you want to.
Yeah.
And I thought, what a gift. I wish I had that of my dad. I wish we would have gone on somebody's YouTube channel, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or my mom. Yeah.
That's a beautiful gift. And I mean, and he had such a beautiful soul.
Yeah. Yeah. And he was so good with all this. Yeah. Yeah. Last week's show. Yeah. Hypnicity. I love this. He made me feel like I mattered. I'm going to cry at that. So he did that. And not only that, he cared a lot about all of us. Like, and BC always tells me that. She goes, he was so excited about all the work you guys are doing. That he's like, she was always like, your tribe, your group, that we're all just working so hard. And how he was amazed at how much we all knew. And the things that everybody would say, Hypnicity, you and Annie Bear and Jeff, everybody. Yeah, my eyes are linking to Hypnicity. And he was always really excited about us. So hello, Kelly Scarborough, Mystic Next Door. How are you, beautiful? Miss Akila, I was thinking about you. I'm so glad you're here. And isn't it funny how that happens? So anyway,
Right.
today we're going to talk about Ascension Symptoms and how we can work with them. And do you want to go first, Kelly?
You know, you have notes. I took some notes. I mean, what you go ahead and start, and we can just kind of go back and forth. I just kind of wrote down some stuff that you know, just some key points.
Yeah.
We're all professional today. We got our notes.
My notes are on the back of other notes.
Yep.
So the first thing I did was go in. Oh, you need a head massage, Annie Bear. That's a great idea. Yeah, great idea. He was talking about I was listening to Rev Sol, and he was talking about the asuras. And the asuras are demons, and they were like doing things to man years and years ago. This way back, probably before the Lemurians or something. Anyway, and at the time there was only the divine masculine, according to the Vedas. Brahman, Vishnu, and Shiva got together, and because no man could touch the Asuras, they created Durga Ma, the mother of the universe, the divine feminine. And when the divine feminine came in, she was able to delete this chaos. So I think that's really important, because we're coming out of Kali Yuga right now, and Ascension is the end of chaos, but we're kind of in that compartment where the chaos is brewing and our Ascension's coming in at the same time. So we're like off the charts. So be really, gentle with yourself. And the key is love and compassion. So that's how Durga, that's how Durga does it. Yeah. Love and compassion. So yeah, leave it to Mama Bear to settle down the cubs, right? So there's universal chaos at work. And how we handle that is through witnessing awareness. And we did that this morning in the meditation, the witnessing awareness. He also talked a lot about moderation with our spiritual powers. Like he always said, we were given a Maserati, our brain or our bodies or our spiritual powers, but drive it like a jalopy. Don't just hit
that.
Right? Don't just hit the gas, because it's gonna burn a few brain cells. And he also talked about Om Tijati, Tula Tula Tula, and that was one of his best mantras for grounding. And you can bring it into your heart, Om Tijati, Tula Tula Tula, Om Tijati Tula Tula Tula, Om Tijati Tula Tula Tula. And that brings in a balance, which a lot of this is good. What we're going to need is a balance with our crown chakra and our higher chakras. But then you can also put your hands between your knees or your thighs and do the same 3 Om Tijatis, and that will balance your lower chakras. So that was amazing.
I like that.
Yeah. So discernment instead of judgment, he talked about. April 2/24, activating our upper chakras. And it's such an activation, and we're getting so much ascension right now. And your body is taking so much in that we really have to be gentle with our upper chakras. So it's like a big shift. You might be feeling, do you want to go ahead and then we'll talk about what people might be feeling?
Well, that's mainly what I've got, like the symptoms. I got the symptoms and what a person kind of goes through, and and it's really different from person to person. I mean, some people can get hit like really, really hard, and others might just have like just very minimal symptoms. It depends on our journey here. I know I was thinking about this last night, to getting ready for today's show. And I remember like back in the it was probably like the early 2000s. I was like really, really sick. And I used to go to it was called Claire's Well, and it was ran by Franciscan nuns. And but there was a gal there, her name is Roxanne, and if she watches, hi Roxanne, and she did massages there. And so I used to go, and I would get a massage sometimes from one of the nuns or from this Roxanne. And I remember like I was just really kind of at a low point because I was just so sick, and I had gone to get this massage, and I had told Roxanne, I said, my gosh, I said, I've been so sick. I just can't shake it. And I said, I don't know what's going on. And she goes, oh, you're going through an ascension.
Yeah.
And I go, what? And she said, well, you're leveling up. And I didn't, at that time, I didn't even know what it was. And she said, it's just when she said, it sucks. But she said, when you get to the other side, she said, it's really beautiful. And she said, it's riding it through and just, and to know. And then, there's, other times where, since we've moved out here, there's been a couple times where it's like when I'm really going through it, I get really sick. And last night I was thinking about you, just even with your cold, I really was thinking that was part of your ascension process too, because it takes a hit on our bodies. And yeah, it really, I mean, the one thing, and I know I know Annie has been talking about like really sensitivity, and it heightens our sensitivity to such level that it's almost like too much. I mean, and it's not, because they're not, the universe isn't going to give us more than what we can handle, but it's just the heightened empathy on just feeling, our feelings for everybody are just so heightened. And then, physically, just, the body aches, and just the fatigue sometimes can be just like really, really a lot. But noise is something that it's like, and some days I'm fine, and then other days, if somebody's unloading the dishwasher and putting dishes into the cabinets, it's just like, holy crap. I'm like, and we have a joke in our house. It's like, are you mad? Because it sounds like everything, it's like the dishes are just slamming in there, and they're not. It's just a person is just so sensitive. It's just like, it just seems like it's just so loud.
And I think a lot of times it's our sensitivities are doing that because we're awakening our subtle senses. I mean, and all of you here, I'm looking, there's so many readers here. There's so many really experienced people that have been on their path for a long time. And it's like we are awakening those subtle senses, our clairs, but not just our clairs, because then we go in deeper to Brahman, and we're awakening our senses of light and our senses of witnessing awareness.
Mm-hmm.
So it's yeah. Hypnicity can relate and add to your hearing aids. Yeah. And yes, sometimes I can't even listen to music, and both my kids are musicians, and it's like, so I love hearing them play music and sing, but sometimes I have to go in my room. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That solitude sometimes is just what, especially if a person's really, really going through an ascension, that solitude is really, really important.
Yeah. Oh, my heart has not been this happy in a long time. Oh, Lori, you're so sweet, honey. Yeah, and Annie Bear's talking about her husband doing projects, hammers and saws and drills. Yeah.
Oh,
honey.
it's just like, oh my gosh. Yeah. That would be a lot.
Yeah. So some signs, and I know you guys all know this, but exhaustion, shoulders and arms. Ness mentioned this the other day, and I realized that how many of you have been talking about shoulders and meditation. We've been doing a lot of shoulder healing. And I feel that too sometimes. Just my arms feel like they're just heavy on my body, you know, like
Mhm.
they're hanging there like a
Yeah.
scarecrow arms.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Just breathe, hypnicity. Memory loss. And
Yes.
yeah. And sometimes, you know, my brother has a neurological thing, early onset dementia, and it is, and he's brilliant. And sometimes I do think about that because I'm like, gosh, I'm completely out of it. Anxiety, intuition and synchronicities. And
Yes.
that's huge. Like, we'll be feeling like something's coming in and we know it. And that's another thing to think about, is that we know something's going to drop.
Mhm.
And then you turn on the news and sure enough, bam.
Yep.
Um, um, your heart chakra, you might feel a heaviness or a fluid in your lungs. Also, um, your skin. And somebody here was talking about patches, Annie was. And yeah, yeah. Um, your skin is like, kind of flaky, or it might feel odd. And that's because you're absorbing all this light, right? And our
Mhm.
skin is our largest, what's it called? Organ.
Yeah, and we're literally shedding the old, the 3D. I mean, we're literally like shedding it.
Yeah, yeah. So you might have a pain in your jaw, your eyes, and there can be some sinus things coming in. And I know George used to always say, if you got a runny nose, that's because your co-pilot came in, one of your guides came in, and there, that's why you get the runny nose or the runny eye. So that's usually a sign of
I
that.
love that.
Of course, with any of this, if you have anything that you need to go to the doctor for, please go.
Absolutely. Mhm.
Oh, Diana's seen so many orbs around all of us. And lethargy,
Mhm.
Julie, yes, lethargy is
Mhm.
huge right now. Um, so anyway, so I thought that was really good. Thinking about it and being really gentle with ourselves. I think one of the worst things for me has been judgment, self-judgment.
Yeah.
And it keeps showing itself. So, like, a couple of weeks ago, I think I told you guys about that I, like, heard myself saying something that my dad used to say that really hurt my feelings. And I said it, and my daughter heard it, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I've turned into Ron Johnson, my father." What the heck? And, so that self-judgment, and then think about when it happened as a child
Mhm.
and how you felt. Yeah. Yeah. If you didn't know this was coming in, hypnicity, and you had these revelations, it would be a lot.
Oh my gosh. Well, and I've heard that some people sometimes just think they're almost going crazy. It's just like what is happening, and that is a part of ascension too. Terry, is the things from the past creep up in order for us to look at them, just to heal it, and so there too, so we can level up, and
Yeah.
shedding of the ego, and just the what we perceive as imperfections. That it's letting those go.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. And it's that self-judgment, that guilt that we give ourselves.
Yeah.
Um, um, I love this. No bad parts, Annie Bear says. And Teresa says, it's like our spirit body is a balloon stretching as it inflates, and our physical body feels the change and is trying to place this new feeling in the nerve ending.
Yes.
Our
Yeah.
bodies are confused.
Yeah.
Amen. Right, hypnicity? This is something that we've stepped into, and it is just creeping in, and probably happened around the beginning of the pandemic or before that for a lot of us, right? Or some of
Yeah.
us, we've been off and on our paths since we were quite young. But just, so I've got a whole list of things that we can do about it here, but um, but I just want to make everybody sure that a huge thing is community. So, and I'm gonna
So
cry when I say
huge.
that. So that all of you are here and we're all talking about this is one of the best things that we can do.
Right? And and you know what else I got that, if and there too we're so hard on ourselves that you know sometimes when in there too we're all different, but when we're going through ascension, weight gain is something that we may notice. And I know, and what made me think about it is, the COVID. I think we all kind of have been going through that ascension. And I mean, I'm telling you, I probably gained close to 50 pounds
Hello. Yeah. Ice cream.
during. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. We scream for ice cream.
And that's exactly it. And because we don't know what's going on, and we have that extra anxiety that you talked about. And if our DNA is to eat to comfort, that then the ones that have that are going to possibly see a weight gain.
Right. And how do we show love? And how did your parents show love? How did your grandparents show love? Well, a lot of them went through the Depression or the Holocaust or something where there wasn't enough food,
Hmm.
right? And so they're like, I mean, who on this in here heard, clean your plate? There's kids that don't have enough to eat all over the world, you
Oh,
know?
yeah, and having to sit at the table until you did. And I
Yeah.
mean, it could be hours I would be sitting at the table. It's like, rebelling. I didn't want to eat it, but eventually had to eat it.
Yeah. Solar, the downloads are so unfamiliar. We have to digest a whole new way of understanding.
Hmm.
Exactly, and our bodies have to absorb it as well, solar. So it's not just our physical form, it's also our emotional form, our body,
Hmm.
and then also our light bodies, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Majestic, you started way before the pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love this hypnicity. You've had other ascensions in the 80s that didn't last this long, right? Maybe we
Hmm.
had a Kundalini Awakening in the 80s, and we had to hang on to our bedpost for 3 days. But it wasn't a
Right.
year. Yeah, it wasn't a month, right? Yeah, yeah. We
Well,
yeah,
with the just the awareness and the raising of our vibration and our frequency and stuff, you'll notice like a shift in what you can watch and what you can tolerate. And even like your friends and family, it's like you might see shifts in them as you're shifting, as your vibration levels up. And if you're not matching the same vibration, you just might find that you just don't have the same things in common, or the whole being able to tolerate it. And even shows, I noticed even this in myself. It was within the last week I had turned on a show that I used to absolutely love to watch.
yeah,
And I turned it on because Tim was sleeping, and I thought, I'm just going to watch this. I started watching. I'm like, I don't, and I think I even said it out loud. I don't like this anymore. And I thought, well, that's really odd. I mean, because I've watched it for years, but it's just that whole shift of what interests you, and really what you're taking in. Um, you'll see shifts too.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, healing on a planetary level and an ancestral level, right, Annie? So it's like we're not just healing what happened to us in our shadow. We're healing the shadows of our ancestors, the shadows of the Lemurians, the shadows of the Mesopotamians, the shadows of the Atlanteans, the Egyptians. I
Yeah.
mean, I think that we've probably, a lot of us, been there before in past lives. And then coming forward, a lot of us were called in again to get this one right, to go through that healing.
Mhm.
Teresa, amen. So many of us here have been caregivers to our parents or whoever
Yeah.
in our lifetime, and that's a real easy way that we don't really take care of ourselves. Yeah, yeah. Bless your heart. Yeah.
Because most of us empaths, I mean, it's like we're programmed to take care of everybody else before we take care of ourselves, and that's where we need to, realize that, especially when we're going through this and when we're in the feelings, that we literally have to take care of ourselves first, and then we're able to take care of others even better. But yeah, I'm sure everybody knows it, but it's always a reminder, because I know I'm guilty of it. It's just like
Yeah.
I want to take care of everybody, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh my God, why am I in tears? Why do I feel like crying? Well, it's because my cup is empty.
Yeah. And we kind of have to remember, the sage known as my daughter, Inga, has told me before, Mom, that's not in your soul contract. Like, you're not their mother in this lifetime. You're their sister, or you're their niece, or whatever. But you're not you're not the mom. You are who you are. Yeah. And even being a mom to an adult changes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lori, I didn't know that Val said that, but that makes perfect sense. Val is amazing. She's coming on in a couple weeks, or 10 days, I think. Yeah, 4 years in, of the 4-year cycle. That makes a lot of sense. And I know Diana's here, and she's also an astrologer and just amazing.
Full of wisdom.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Your dad's mom was in Switzerland. Yeah. Yeah. Hello, beautiful Liz.
Hello.
Yeah. And so changing what we can listen to, what we can watch on TV. I became a huge fan of the Hallmark Channel, and just anything that was like documentary but soft,
Very soft stuff. Yeah,
Um,
anything violence and everything it's too much. And I used to love like paranormal shows. I mean, love them. And I just am having a hard time with them. I don't know. That's been a shift for me.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Fogo Pogo, happy birthday tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow or next week. I can't remember.
Happy birthday.
Right? Yeah, Hypnicity says, I've always felt different from my siblings. I'm the youngest of 5 kids. We dealt with my sister's mental illness, which gave us all a different perspective. Yeah. Yeah. Jan Johnson, I'm just tuning in. I'm working, so I can't really chat, but I wanted to thank you for this topic. I'm relating to it so much so far, and we'll go back and listen from the beginning.
Oh, thanks, Jan.
That's nice, Jen. Yeah. Oh, light codes. That's why you're showing so many pics. Annie Bear's pics, they always make my crown chakra tingle. So,
So beautiful.
yeah, April, Rhonda, I love this. April has lasted forever. Oh my God.
Amen. Yes.
It is like we are moving through the sledge, girlfriend. We are just like, I call those Godzilla days, where you like weigh 30,000 pounds or tons, and you're just kind of walking through and just not getting there very fast.
Yeah. Your feet getting stuck in it, and it's like it slows you down, and then it's
Yeah. Thomas, I take my turn as a helicopter parent all the time, and I have to, and they don't like it, and I don't like it. So yeah. Val told you your grandma is helping you through this time. Yeah. That's a huge thing. Our ancestors are here, not just the ancestors from this planet, but from other planets. And I've felt like for a long time that Gaia's ancestors, the ancient ones, are here with us. And that brings a whole new, like, not solemn, but quiet, like peaceful, really, really peaceful. I'm just realizing this when we talk about it, how peaceful their energy is. Because when they come in, it's like a big, huge hug of, sweetgrass or something.
Yeah.
It's like just a beautiful freshness.
Yeah, that love and comfort. And
Yeah.
and you might you and I know this has been me for the last couple of nights, and I, it's like, is it ascension? And then, you can kind of go back and go, well, or was it the full moon? But sleep patterns too can be an issue that you find yourself not being able to sleep, or just you're so fatigued that you really need the extra sleep, or you keep waking up at certain times of the night, 222 or 333, or you notice a repetition of the times that you're waking up. That too is a sign that you're going through an ascension.
Yeah. So, and Diana's here, oil painter, and if anybody is called to, she and Val are both amazing astrologers. I've had my
Yes.
chart done by both of them, and they're incredible. And Kelly Healer does amazing readings, also where she cuts cords for you, but she goes back years and generations and cuts cords. And if you want to get in, you can't get in before June with Kelly. So
Oh,
just FYI.
thank
Yeah,
you.
lots of weird dreams. Lots of weird dreams. So things we can do. Listening to hertz. And this said, I pulled this up, it was 7.83, but I think all different kinds. For me, sometimes it's listening to the drums.
I
And
love the drums.
right,
I love them.
again, it brings in that ancient ones
Yeah.
feeling, the ancient drums. And also listening to the ancient, that throat singing. And sometimes I've been doing light language, and it comes in like that very throat thing. Blue Oyster Cult. Pink Floyd. I'm telling you, right? I mean, Pink Floyd, they were saying all this stuff before.
Right? Love
Yeah,
Pink
totally. Paying attention to our dreams, synchronicities, and intuition. Limiting our electronics.
Floyd.
Watching yourself. Like tomorrow, there's a friend of ours is giving a class. Well, Allie has an amazing dream class that she's doing, and I really
Yes.
want to do it, but I'm kind of watching myself. I think I might do it at the last minute because I like to go have fun with my friends, but I also want to spend some time off of the computer. They said red light therapy, which
Oh.
yeah, so that red light therapy is
Yeah.
really important. Um, and I've got one of the masks, and you can get them now, I think, pretty reasonably. I got my son one of the brushes for his hair because it's thinning, but and I think that helps your brain too, because sometimes I'll put it on my brain instead of on my face. Our recognizing our divine purpose, like what we're really here for,
Yeah.
which is a huge thing. So just that we recognize like your dharma, like what are we supposed to be here for, right? Insight timer has a lot of
Yes.
hertz frequencies. Water, and doing a karmic balance reset, like like just what we've been talking about. Basically, that's a good way of saying that, but really recognizing what we're here to do. And we're born here on this side of the veil, and we think that all this is real, that we have to get this job, we have to get this education, we have to do all these things, and we have to drive this car, whatever. It's like all these things that we have to do every day, and so all we're doing is staring at the ground and scurrying.
Right? Hurrying and rushing, and yeah, just not really being present in the moment, and just really living.
Yeah. So if you stop every once in a while and just look, like, who was that person that just walked me by me? Did you see their light? And that's another thing that comes up, I feel like, is that we can see people, um, and notice that, well, that person was an angel, or that person was from another planet, perhaps. They didn't look very human or very earthling to me today.
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
which is interesting, and just seeing other people's light. I feel like sometimes when I've traveled to other countries, it's the person that's on the street corner or selling fruits at a stand, and they came out and they smile and they really look at me like they see your light, and it's like,
Right.
wow, man. Yeah.
And you make a really good point, Terry. Why is it? Because now I'm thinking back, and why is it? Is it because we're on vacation too? That when a person is in a different country, you like ourselves notice people more and notice their energy and just really see them. Is it that when we're back in our country, it's just like we got to go 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 go, and it's just like you just have like almost like blinders on sometimes, because that's a really good point that it just it's like people see each other more, and is it because we're slowing down more? It's interesting.
I think the other thing is we're not coming from scarcity usually when we're on vacation. Usually we've saved this money, we've allotted this money, and we've said, I'm not going to worry about money. This is what I'm going to do. And this is, we're not in that program.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, most people really don't connect with others, right? And they don't hear each other either.
Mm-hmm.
They don't listen. So I think we do that then, but also I feel like, and I talked, Gail talked about this, Dr. Gail, Skywalking the Moon, last time we were on last week. She feels like, within another 3 generations, we will have an income from the government or from whatever we call the government, that we won't have to go forward and work like we do now, that things are going to be taken care of, that everybody will be working for the community.
Yes.
And she was bringing up the Cheyenne, or was it Cheyenne or Comanche? Somebody here will know. And the Carolinas and how they've done this. And these kids get even the kids from the families that aren't connected to the elders, they are worth the billions. They get like $500,000 when they turn 18, and then they keep getting an income. And you don't have to be in this constant framework, but you have to help the community.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Hey, Sharon Robinson. Thank you, Diana, the Cherokee. And the Hopi prophecy too, right? Hypnicity. Mm-hmm. And this is what we're coming into. Yeah. This is what we're coming into. So aligning with our Dharma. Curiosity. Did I mention that yet?
Nope.
Okay. So, and I'm sorry, I sound like I'm preaching now, so I'll stop. But I do want to mention curiosity. I don't know. You guys probably know Chris. She's on Debbie Freebird's channel quite a bit. She's got a thing that she does with her. But Chris is a person that she is always curious about somebody. Allie is the same way.
Yes.
So connected. Yeah. And always curious, like, well, that's interesting. Even if a kid would say something quite rude or quite something that you could find like, he's an idiot. She would be like, oh, that's interesting. Tell me about that, with a smile. Yeah. And it's like, that is the best way to have social discourse and really change things, change the energy around it. And once you change the energy around something, the sky's the limit. Manifesting. Yeah, the divine feminine will stand together and we will rise above.
And something else, Teri, and this is a reflection to you, that meditation is huge. And I'm sure most of you know, but people that are watching in the future, you have to check out Teri's meditation. She is absolutely fabulous. And you too do readings and are absolutely amazing, and mediumship. And so, yeah, meditation is huge, and just having the quiet, the just being still
Yeah.
is good. And I have written down balanced diet too. And sometimes that's hard, especially when a person's feeling the anxiety and whatnot. But just the balance, it does help.
It does. The diet is a big deal. And let's talk about that, because a lot of people put down limitations on that. Like, you have to do a plant-based diet. And for Americans, because of our culture, that's kind of a hard thing to come to sometimes.
Mhm.
And I did hear somebody talking about this. It was either Nancy Jean or Dr. Gal, that when she talks to spirit or galactics about how, sometimes humans are like, oh, well, that has consciousness, so I'm not going to eat steak, or I'm not going to eat poultry. That vegetation has consciousness,
Right.
water has consciousness,
Right.
everything has consciousness. So if you are called to do it that way,
Mhm.
that is an excellent way to do it. And but recognizing what works for you, and it's not always
Yes.
what works for everybody.
And that's exactly it. And there too, just, excuse me, not judging others for, if they're not vegan, or because e- everybody's everybody knows their body the best. And so whatever that your diet, if it's full of protein, have at it. If it's not, have at it. Just you do you.
Yeah, yeah. And Fogo, I love this. So she brought up rocks and crystals even have, and I shouldn't have this right by my desk because it does give me a total
That
rush.
is
But this is from
beautiful.
George, and it's kind of an orange rose quartz, and it's my Archangel Michael and channeling quartz.
That is
So
beautiful, Teri.
yeah, yeah, it really is, and it's got so much power to it that I know for a while there I wasn't sleeping, and Annie was like, "You got to get those crystals out of there."
Right? Yep,
And
'cause it does make a difference.
I did, and then when George passed, I was like, I gotta get these back." But I was keeping them on my altar over in the corner, so
Mhm.
that guy's got to go back because my crown chakra is going nuts. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fogo, the big thing is not to waste that life. Plant, animal, bug, give thanks and appreciate that life. I love that.
Absolutely. I love that too.
Oh, like a dragon head. I love that. Yeah, it does look like a dragon head, doesn't it? So,
It's beautiful.
yeah, yeah. So, anyway, so curiosity, consciousness, meditation, and whatever that looks like for you guys. Like, if you want to do guided meditation, I also teach silent meditation, which is a lot like TM, the Chopra, which is primordial sound meditation is what it's called. But it's guided meditations seem like they're more YouTubey. So if I just sat there and we were all quiet, it would be fun, and it's great. I love it. But it's just a different thing. It's kind of like silent meditation is like going on a diet, right? You got to
Yeah.
commit. You got to commit.
You do. You
Yeah.
do have to commit.
Yeah. So, and being our authentic selves, we talked about that community, channeling, and I think surrendering to who we are truly
Yeah.
is huge, because, like, who am I? Am I this person that lives in this house and owns this and owns that, or wears this kind of diamond, or wears, tie-dye t-shirts? I mean, who are you?
Yeah.
And yeah, who am I? So, which is like one of the most famous spiritual questions you can ask.
Right?
And yeah,
Yeah.
and I love this other thing, because Deepak said this one time, and I loved it. So a lot of times in a lot of cultures, you have a teacher, and many times we have many teachers, right? Some of them
Yeah.
are our children, some of them are our grandparents,
Mhm.
some are shamans, and so having that guru, but he talked about the Eastern tradition of having a guru, and he said he said yes, a guru is perfect. G, you are you. That's how you spell guru,
I love it.
right? Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, so knowing that if it feels right in our heart space, then that's what it is. So, but basically, we're shifting to a galactic consciousness right now.
Mhm.
We're already there, so it is going to feel uneasy because you are half in the stars and half on this planet, and we are shifting because it is shifting into that fifth dimension, and we're already there. And so is Earth, so is Gaia. She's already there.
Mhm.
So we just have to come back and float on the third dimension at the same time. Teresa Ford, what is this? And the lyric of the great Tina Turner, we don't need another hero. Start trusting your intuition because it's there 24/7 and you might need the answers fast.
Yes.
I
I
love that.
love that, Teresa, too.
Yeah, that's beautiful, honey. Right? Hypnicity, everyone we meet is a potential healer. Yeah.
And that's exactly it. And I mean, with everybody even in here, I mean, sometimes we're the teacher and sometimes we're the student. And we're just all learning from everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Annie's yeah. Sharon Robinson, that's a great question. And there's a lot of great teachers here today. Annie Bear is Annie Bear Seven Feather. And I think I have her a banner with her channel on it. But if any there's a lot of mods here today. If you guys can put that on there, that'd be awesome.
The
Um,
one thing is if a moderator does put it on it and you click on her channel, you might need to go back in a couple days to Annie's channel and click on it, because YouTube will kick it off. It's just it's really weird.
yeah.
So if you can, I would write it down and go to her channel.
Yeah, just go into YouTube and put it in the search. But she has amazing work, and we're going to be on with her on Monday.
We are. I'm so excited, and she's got so many nature videos too. And that's another thing with with this, nature is just so important. If you can get out in nature, if you can walk, great. If not, if you can just sit in it and listen to the birds, because I heard one time that sitting and just listening to birds, the sound of birds. And so I mean, you could probably even pull up like a YouTube video, but listening to 6 minutes of birds singing will shift your vibration. If you're just feeling like low and whatnot and you need a little boost, 6 minutes of that, and then clearing your energy, making sure that you're not picking up on crud, and clearing your energy, I think too is really important.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. Just being outside 10 minutes a day, even get
Yeah.
a little sunlight. It does change everything to listen to the birds. Yeah, my birds go crazy here, and I love them, love them, love them.
It does make a difference. I have a little mama duck. She's nesting in, and we're in town, and so but she comes back every year, and she's under this little like shrub type thing, and I go out and visit her, and I'll tell you what, at the end of the day, just going and sitting with her and asking her how her day is, and just that she's going to be having babies pretty soon, and I bring her some peas, and she doesn't eat them while I'm there, but as I'm sure as soon as I leave or wherever, she comes out and eats them. But just that connection to nature and animals just makes a huge difference.
Yeah, yeah, it really does. It really does. Um, let's see. So, anyway, we're having this great shift in galactic consciousness, and surrendering to the flow, and looking at that priest priestess archetype as our archetype, because acknowledge that you are remembering. You're not
Yes.
learning, you're
Yes.
remembering, because this is who you truly are.
Yes.
You truly are this divine being. And they don't tell us that growing up, do they? Oh, you're divine. You have the
Oh,
light.
wouldn't that be beautiful if that was the case?
Yeah, it would have been beautiful had I told my children that.
Same. I
I
do
know.
now.
I do too. Yeah. Yeah. Remember to resonate, right? So I started doing oh, your cat's rubbing your computer. Oh, Barbara,
Oh.
I love that. They didn't know, and we didn't know either, Teresa, right?
Mhm.
I mean, my daughters, it's like, I wish you would have been like this when I was little. And I said, oh God, girl, so do I.
Me too, right? Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Being gentle with ourselves. And when I wake up in the morning now, I have a new routine, which I tell myself that I love myself. I love you, Teri. And I tell myself that I'm beautiful. And that's my light that I'm telling, not my hair or my face, because that sure doesn't look beautiful when I wake up. But I'm telling me, my divine light, that
Yes.
you're beautiful, your divine light.
I have little Postits on my mirror, on my vanity, and I'm guilty of not looking at them,
Yeah.
but I have just I made them into little hearts, and then I just wrote like little sayings on them, and I have, "You are enough, you are beautiful, you are worthy, you are supported, you are loved," and my mirror is almost covered where you can't even see yourself because I've got all of those notes, and I know this is going to sound absolutely ridiculous, but we really need a new bathroom door, and we just have a tiny bathroom here in the bedroom, but the door is really old, and hopefully nobody out there really cringes, but you know what I've done? I've taken a Sharpie and I have written all over the door. And so when you're sitting on the toilet, you can read all these messages,
I love
to
that.
yourself. And it when because we need to do a remodel up here, and when we do, I'll just throw the door away. But yeah, I took a Sharpie and I have messages and stuff written all over that too.
Oh, yeah, I love that idea. There's this guy on YouTube, and he's on a bunch of other stuff too. Um, and he's like a decorative painter, and he also does what's it called when you do real pretty handwriting?
Calligraphy.
Yes, he's a calligraphist, and a really talented one. And he painted chalkboard paint all over his entryway in his dining room, and
Oh,
then he decorated it with white chalk. And he said he really thought that he was going to change it like every 6 months or something, but he said he likes the way it looks when people brush up against it. And
I love it. It's
mark
art.
it. Yeah. 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 And yeah. I love you, and you're my first choice. I love that, Teresa Ford.
Oh, I love that, Teresa, too. You're my first choice.
Yeah. Yeah. Because how many times do we wake up and think, oh God, I got to get this stuff done today. I got to do the laundry. I got to do, I got to go see the bank. I got to do whatever. Oh, Leah, use the door as a table. I love that idea.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
Great idea. Thank you, Leah. Yeah.
Yeah. I need to get some of those whiteboard markers and put those up. Fogo Pogo. I used to have everywhere around my uh, desk all sorts of things up, but I took them down a while back to kind of, yeah. Oh, Mel was a scribe in the last life. Wow. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's cool.
Yeah. Someone is an air element associated with birds or beings of the air. Reminds us partial to birds. Well, Diana, Kelly, what do you think?
I think yes. I think yeah, that there's that definitely that connection to, you know, if you are an air element, to birds and just really anything that I'm trying to think right now what else really flies. I mean anything that
Wow.
really fly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm fire, but I do love the birds. I go out there and sing to them, and they sing back, and
See, I do too. I go out and I talk to them. I love the birds. I was
yeah.
out there feeding them last night, and the hummingbirds too. I was having a mama bird, a mama hummingbird that was it was so cute. She was so chubby, but she would perch on the hummingbird feeder and she'd sit there all day and she'd fall asleep, but she wanted to be she wanted to be close to the food. And so I took a video of it. I mean, because it was like I was seeing her day after day after day. Now I think she's she's gone. She's taking care of her babies, but she would not. And if another hummingbird would come up, I mean, she would fly. It was like she had staking claims to that hummingbird feeder. That was hers, and she was eaten. Boy,
Wow.
it was cute.
Wow. That's adorable. Yeah. I love that. Yogini Shambhavi once said that birds fly between heavens and the earth, and they bring us messages from heaven.
Yes.
I always thought that was so knowing, right? Barbara, on your mirror, the purpose of our lives is to give birth to the best, which is within us. Mary Ann Williamson.
I love that.
I
I
love
love
me
that.
some Mary Ann. Yeah, I've seen her. I've been lucky enough to see her like 3 or 4 times in person, and I have my picture
Oh,
taken with her.
oh, how beautiful, Teri.
Yeah,
What a
yeah.
blessing.
Well, I wore one of her, Mary Ann Williamson for, president things, so she was happy to see me.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, she comes to Unity a lot. She does a lot with Unity, and she does a lot with Deepak. So, hey, Ness, there she is. I asked Stoffer and Linda G about the energy this week, and they said I had new guides who came in.
Oh, beautiful.
I love that you said that, Ness, because I feel like everybody here probably does. We're know that you're on a rotation, and all these new guides are coming in, and you're leveling up while all this is going on. And Ness has had all these dreams, and it's funny because we have similar dreams quite often. And Diana gets into it then too.
Yep.
And it's just hilarious. But Ness, I'll have to tell you about my dream this week. But anyway, so it's like, yeah, we're definitely leveling up, and our guides are too. We're getting new assignments, as Dr. Gill says.
Yeah. I'm getting, Ness, that it's the guides that you have coming in it's because you're starting a new chapter in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and you're putting a tarp on your greenhouse, so send me no wind and lots of angels. You got it. You
Yep.
got it, oil painter.
Sending them your way.
Yeah. 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 Fogo loves birds too. So Tyler loves birds. He's out there.
He's probably barking at some now that he sees, or communicating with them.
Yeah. Yeah. So I hope this helped everybody. It helped me a lot.
Me too.
Thinking
Thank
about
you.
it. Yeah.
This was an awesome topic.
Yeah, Mary Ann's really good about talking about reparations, and she also talks about how Germany made a lot of reparations to the Jews and what happened, and what a difference that made, because they teach that, in schools. They have books about it. They have museums about it, you know, and it's a very solemn thing, and they honor it in a way that is not shameful to anybody.
Which
Yeah.
is so important.
Right? Because that shame game, that's that
Oh.
ego, man.
Oh.
Stinking ego.
Right?
It's really
Yep.
a good thing to have the ego. It's just
Yeah.
sometimes mine is we'll do that shame game. Yeah. Well, Annie Bear, yeah, a lot of people don't get Marianne, and a lot of people don't feel the same way about Hillary, right? So anyway, it's interesting. Yeah, the shame game did happen in Germany. It did, Ness.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and it, but now they have taken it into something that is like, you know, we honoring the dead and not hiding it. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It's not hiding it, that genocide.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right, everybody. Well, have a great day, and thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, everybody have a great weekend.
Yeah, yeah, and, what are you doing next, young lady, besides readings? I know you do a lot of readings.
Well, tomorrow I'm doing the class with Allie, and then I have a show with Scorpio Scott.
I love him.
I,
He
I'm
is so tender-hearted. Talk
He
about a
is
nice man.
such a beautiful soul. I have a show with him, or he's having me on his channel on Saturday, I think at 4:00 Pacific. And then Sunday, I am going to relax. My husband has surgery on Tuesday. And so I'm hoping to be on the dream show Tuesday night. And I'm sure everything's it's gonna be fine. And so I'm planning on being there Tuesday night. And then I have a couple days where I have a lighter day just to kind of take care of Tim while he's recuperating. How about you? Well, you're tell us about what you got going on.
Well, I've got, today, Sherry's gonna be on, Voices from the Swamp, and then I'll be on, with Debbie Freebird tonight on
Nice.
Fridays. So,
Yeah.
Liz and Oz everybody's asking about your son. How he's doing.
He's doing good. He's doing good. And I thank everybody for their prayers and just their kind words and everybody that's reached out. You know, it's definitely you know, a learning time, a pivotal point in his life. And yeah, thank you for asking. No, he's good. He's gonna be fine.
Well, he's lucky to have you. So he loves you. And so do we. So everybody, have a great weekend. Next weekend, I'm going to be helping out with Kevin, the Healing Medium, Freebird Spirit, and JJ Tuta Speaks. And I'll be assisting them in their healing thing that they're doing. And it's a private thing. It's done on Zoom. So Kevin, the Healing Medium, it's on his thing, and I've got it in my community pages too. So, and I think Annie does. All right.
So exciting.
I'm excited about that. That's going to be fun. Yeah.
So exciting.
Thanks. All right, everybody. Have a great one.